Two pain management doctors, twin brothers Desi Barroga and Deno Barroga, pleaded guilty to healthcare fraud charges as announced by U.S. Attorney Leigha Simonton for the Northern District of Texas. The brothers were indicted in November 2023 and admitted to conspiring to defraud health insurance companies, including Blue Cross Blue Shield, Cigna, and United Healthcare, by submitting false claims for corticosteroid injections that were never actually given. To carry out the scheme, the Barrogas required patients to attend monthly office visits. This ensured that patients continued receiving prescriptions for highly addictive Schedule II controlled substances such as hydrocodone, oxycodone, and morphine. Meanwhile, the doctors fraudulently billed insurance providers for costly injection procedures that, in most cases, never occurred. Rather than administering real corticosteroid injections, the doctors often mimicked the procedure by placing a needle on the patient's body without piercing the skin. They also falsified medical records, copying and pasting details between patients with little to no modifications. Additionally, they instructed patients to provide false statements regarding their treatments in official records. Through this fraudulent scheme, the brothers billed insurance companies for at least $45 million and received at least $9 million in payments. As a result, they each face up to 10 years in federal prison. As part of their plea agreement, both doctors have agreed to surrender their DEA registrations and forfeit their medical licenses at least 14 days before sentencing. They also agreed to pay restitution, with the exact amount to be determined by the court. Types of fraud in the case 1. Healthcare fraud, submitting fraudulent claims to insurance companies for services that were never provided. 2. Billing, fraud, charging insurers for a high volume of injections per patient, many of which were not performed. 3. Falsification of medical records, creating fake or cloned medical records to justify fraudulent claims. 4th, patient deception, instructing patients to provide false information about their treatments. 5. Prescription fraud, prescribing highly addictive pain medications under the guise of legitimate treatment to ensure repeat visits. How to detect healthcare fraud. 1. Review medical bills carefully. Patients should examine their insurance statements, explanation of benefits, to confirm that billed procedures were actually performed. Look for unusually high numbers of procedures per visit. 2. Verify treatment details. Patients should ask questions about procedures and treatments they receive. If a doctor claims to have performed an injection, but the patient does not recall it, this is a red flag. 3. Monitor prescription practices. Be cautious of doctors who overprescribe addictive painkillers without a clear medical need. Frequent mandatory office visits for prescriptions could be a sign of fraudulent billing. Check for cloned medical records. Patients can request copies of their medical records to ensure accuracy and uniqueness. Identical or repeated notes across different visits may indicate fraudulent documentation. 5. Report suspicious activity. Patients and insurance companies should report concerns to state medical boards, law enforcement, or the Department of Health and Human Services. Whistleblowers, including office staff or patients, can play a key role in uncovering fraud. By staying vigilant, patients and insurers can help detect and prevent fraudulent practices like those committed by the Barroga brothers.